So today is obviously a bit of a different video than you new guys are probably used to, right? Um, about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, I used to make kind of talking raw videos like this. Um, but I was lifting, right? I was in the gym working out and filming it and kind of talking to you guys that way. But I don't do that anymore just because now lifting and working out is it's kind of my sacred time. It's that time where I can be with myself and with my thoughts, not just a place where I can, break down my muscles and focus on improving physically. Because with all the things going on with classes, with homework, with the business, with friends, family, everything like that in life, again, when I get in the gym, it's just my place where I can be with myself. So I don't film videos like that anymore. And of course, the videos I do usually film now are very educational and value based. And I love making videos like that. But at the same time, I'm not just constantly thinking about carbohydrates and, breaking down the muscle and stuff, science based stuff like that. In terms of just the fitness side, I'm obviously a human being as well. So this, kind of style of video that I'm doing today is going to kind of help you get a better understanding of me personally rather than just listening to me talk about a specific topic regarding health and fitness. But as you can tell by the title of this video, what I want to talk about is failure, right? But not necessarily in the sense that you probably think about, right? Failure is such an interesting thing because everyone views it differently, right? But when you view it the right way, it is the best part on the road towards success in whatever endeavor you're talking about, right? Fitness, your health, sports, business, getting a girlfriend, getting a spouse, right? Failure is all around us in everything that we do. And so that's why I think it's so important to have a great relationship with it. One of the best ways I can explain what failure is to me is with health and fitness. This is a good example, right? Say I'm lifting with a client and we're doing a specific exercise, bench press, for example. I say to do 3 sets, 10 reps. All right. And I show them the proper form, how to keep the intensity and the emphasis on their chest, which is where we want for bench press. And so they start lifting, they start doing a couple reps, they get maybe 6 or 7 proper, clean, great form reps. And then they're thinking, okay, I got to get 10. Ben told me to get 10, but my chest is fatigued. It's getting tired, right? So I'm going to start bringing in my triceps and my shoulders and my chest just to get these last 3 reps out. I don't want to fail, right? But that is what you want in terms of hypertrophy, in terms of building muscle, in terms of being in the gym and seeing progress with your health. You need to fail first, right? And so every time that a client does that I'm with, I have to explain to them, we want that intended muscle to fail. That is what we're here to do. We're not here to get 3 sets, 10 reps perfectly, exactly every time. That's not true working out. That's just a gauge. That's just a number to aim for, right? You want that muscle to fatigue, to end up failing, because that means your body is thinking, holy shit, we failed this time around. We need to regrow bigger and stronger so that we don't fail again next workout we do this exercise. But then, of course, progressive overload, you add the weight, add intensity, and it's just an ongoing process. That's how progressive overload works. And seeing progress with your health is by failing first so that your body has to adapt. And again, that is just one example of what failure means to me. It's the best part on the road to success. You want to fail if you later eventually want to succeed. It's inevitable. It's the best process about it. But a lot of people shy away from doing things because of the potential of failing, right? Entrepreneurship, for example. Not everyone is built and cut out to be an entrepreneur in the business world because they're not okay with making and taking that large of a risk, potentially failing, right, to maybe succeed. They don't see the success rate to be worth all of that failure, triumph, and suffrage, right? And so that's why not everyone is cut out for entrepreneurship. But for those of you out there watching this who have gone through something like entrepreneurship or something similar, right, where you have to push past every physical, mental, spiritual, emotional limit you've ever had to succeed, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? It takes everything out of you to fail at something, make a mistake, and then say, I am not going to quit. I am not going to quit. Even though I failed, even though I fell down right now, I'm going to learn from this. I'm not going to make the same mistake again. I'm going to build on top of this and get to the next level, right? And then once you build that foundation, you get to the next level and you fail again, right? And then you jump to the next level. Ongoing process. It just continues to compound over time, right? And that's what failure is all about. I don't shy away from failure anymore. And it's not just in entrepreneurship. It's not just in sports. I'm a NCAA collegiate athlete, if you didn't know, right? In order to get to this level, I've failed probably millions of times. I've been playing soccer. I've been an athlete for, let's see, since I was 3 years old. I'm 21 now, so 18 years, right? And among those 18 years, of course, I have failed countless of times, but I wouldn't have been able to make it to the level that I'm at today without making those mistakes, without learning from them, failing, and then later succeeding. And that's just one example of what I have personally gone through in the sports and competitive world, failing and later succeeding. Let's talk about another stupid example, like playing games with friends, board games, sports games, right? Just doing fun recreational things. At a point, some of my friends are, and I'm going to call them out here, some of my friends are afraid to take a risk when playing a board game, for example, right? If you've ever played Codenames before, it's a card board game. If you've ever played Codenames before, it's high risk, high reward, right? You have to pick a specific word out of a whole board of words. And if you're wrong, right, the other team is going to capitalize on your mistake. And so a lot of people, when I'm playing that with my friends, they're afraid to, pick the word that they think it is, because it's such a high risk and they don't want to be wrong. They don't want to fail. I love to play that game because I love to be the one to press it. I don't care if I fail. If I click that word and it's not the correct one to win my team a point, that tells me, okay, it's not that one. I need to figure out what the clues are and pick my next option. I fail, I make a mistake, I learn, I adapt, and I eventually succeed. I love failing. Because say, for example, in order to succeed, you have to fail 100 times or 1,000 times or 10,000 times before you've earned the success in whatever it is. You have to fail the first time. And then after that, you have to fail for the second time and the third time, all the way up to 10,000 failures in order to eventually succeed. And so again, it's so important to have a positive mindset around failure because it's inevitable. And the ones who have the positive mindset about it are always the ones who make the most success. Entrepreneurship, again, for example, every millionaire, billionaire, successful entrepreneur, CEO, founder you have ever seen in history has never succeeded the first time they have tried something, right? They have always made countless millions of mistakes and failed so many times before eventually breaking out and succeeding and winning, seeing victory. And that's why I think it's such a beautiful thing, right? Failure, having the positive mindset around it, being able to fail and tell yourself that it's okay because in the end, I will never quit until I win. Just like one of my idols, David Goggins, right? Just like he said, you don't stop when you're tired, you stop when you're done. Whatever you have set out to do, whatever you told yourself that you are going to accomplish, you don't stop when you fail, when you make a mistake along that road. You stop when you're done, when you do what you told yourself you were going to do, right? And so that's all I have to say today. I don't think I have too much more to say on the topic. I think I would just start repeating myself, rambling on. But I'd love to hear, what your guys' take on failure is. I know, like I said, it's hard to have that mindset. It's not like anyone was born and came out of the womb with the mindset of how to fail properly and how to have the mindset around it. You have to learn it. It takes time to understand how to fail properly. And that's a weird sentence to say. I know how to fail properly, right? I know how to make a mistake and learn from it, pick myself back up, even when nobody else is around me to do so. Funny enough, my camera just overheated, right? And that was a real life example of something not going my way and failing, right? That is a type of failure. I think it's funny. Um, but yeah, like I said, I don't even need to go for too much longer. My camera apparently can't handle it anymore, so I'll finish it up here, right? But you have to learn this mindset, and it takes time to develop it. But it's just like training in the gym. Reps. Every rep you get either benefit or right. So in terms of mindset, is about everyday activities. We have these tiny mistakes and failures that we make every single day, and it gives you the opportunity. Sorry, I'm trying to get up and win here. That gives you the opportunity to use that as a rep for your mindset to learn how to fail properly. When you make a tiny mistake, a tiny failure, doing something throughout your day, that acts as a rep. And you have the choice for how far you need to navigate your life after making this failure, after making this mistake, and how you're going to turn it into a success, a successful situation, a victory in the end for yourself. So I hope you guys enjoyed this time in the video. I definitely did. Mine is very raw, unedited. But yeah, I'm gonna do more just kind of mindset talks, speeches, just talking to the camera as well as that value-based educational content. But make sure to follow me on other social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, everything like that. That's the principle.